These are Shasta daisies at a one-day only price. Woo! This is the lowest price you're going to see on these Shasta daisies anytime this season. And I can tell you right now, you are getting 4 beautiful Shasta daisy plants. And these are the only quantities of the season again. It's $29.98, but that's just for today. At the end of the day, that price goes up and it will not come back down to that price or at a lower price anytime yet this season. So this is really, really cool. Why should we have Shasta daisies?
Well, let me just tell you. You got to have white flowers to make everything else show up.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned to you when we had our little conversation before the show, it's like the catwalk with no footlights? I don't think so.
When the models walk out, you got to have those lights,
Exactly.
you know?
This will brighten your garden. It's a highlighter for your garden. And this is our #1 selling white blooming perennial. Most Shastas, the old-fashioned ones, and I've always had them in my garden because they're beautiful, but they bloom in late spring. Soon as it heats up, they dissolve, they fall over, then you got kind of a mess that you got to clean up, but that's the end of it. These are day neutral, which means that they bloom all summer long. These are perpetually blooming Shasta daisies that do not require staking, which is so nice, and it has been wildly popular. They never last to the end of the season. So again, reserve yours. And how much are they?
Okay, here's the
Holy
thing.
mackerel.
You're getting 4 plants for $29.98, the only quantities of the season.
That's it.
And like you said, this, I had asked you earlier, what's the difference between perpetual blooms and reblooms?
And I tell you what, I coined that, and I called them down at Cottage Farms because they said, you know, we got some perennials that never stop blooming. That's a perpetual. A rebloomer rests, and then it starts blooming again. And I said, they're perpetuals. These are perennials. They come back every year, but they never stop blooming. And
that's what you're looking at
That's what
right
you
here.
want because it performs like an annual, but you don't have to replace it every year. It is always there, and you've got to have these white things in the garden.
Absolutely.
When I go to Aspen, I see these planted among, they're still blooming at the end of the summer. You know, when you've got your echinaceas and you've got your black-eyed Susans blooming, these are still blooming, and normally they're only blooming in the spring.
Look at
all
this.
summer, white flowers, only 20 inches tall, 20 inches wide, a great punctuation point to brighten the garden.
Perennials. These, how many have already been spoken for? 800 of these sets already gone. Now remember, these are our only quantities of the season. This is the one and only day you're going to get this low price of $29.98. If you use your Q card, you can spend about $10 a month and you know, pay for it that way. Here's the other thing I want to tell you. Butterflies and hummingbirds love these.
Yes.
The deer don't eat them.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Oh, well, all right, I'll answer to anything.
Sorry.
Okay.
These are heat tolerant. They are not fragrant. So even though, like in my head, I always say white flowers are the most fragrant, these particular ones are not.
No.
But I also wanted to say, is there any part of the country we can't put these in the ground?
No.
Anywhere.
Anywhere. Plant them anywhere. I'm sending out nice plants that are going to bloom like crazy this year. And I tell you what, if you send your child out in the garden and say, honey, why don't you go pick some flowers and bring them inside? They will always pick these first because this is the flower that's in the coloring book. It's always this daisy-shaped flowers. The kids love these, and they're out there all the time. But I talked about how they will brighten your flower border. If you're doing a flower arrangement, you need to have some white flowers in it because it makes the arrangement look twice as big, just adding the white.
Think of it as like
all
spotlights.
The difference.
I was saying when a painter paints a painting, they always say you got to have a little bit of red in there somewhere. And when you're actually planting a garden, you've got to have some white in there. That's why some of the most beautiful, like, I want to say arrangements that are done have those pops of white because it makes the colors come forward.
May I show you something?
Absolutely.
Because we keep bringing this out because this is my go-to flowering shrub, by the way.
Put it between those? Look at that.
So,
wow.
But you can see, this is beautiful, but see how the white makes the whole business pop. This is the thing. If you've got these in containers on the patio, you've got your butterfly, the 3 different colors all here together. But also, this is the spiky thing. Cut these for an arrangement. cut these for an arrangement. You've got a high-end arrangement, and you know you got to have the spiky things and the daisy-type flowers in the arrangement to make it work.
2,000 sets already gone.
I'm not surprised.
I tell you, here's the thing.
Yeah.
This gets good size. I mean, this is
20
dense.
by 20. And
Dense.
they're absolutely dense, but also you've got the foliage is really good, but look at that image, you see all the blooms that are still coming?
Yeah.
When the Shastas, the old-fashioned ones bloomed, all the blooms came up at once. And it was a big display, and it was beautiful, but then it was over.
Yeah,
And
it was disappointing after the show.
You know how zinnias, you know, the annual zinnias, you know how they bloom all summer long.
Right.
Imagine that these are zinnias, except they're white, and they're blooming all summer long, and you don't have to replant them. They come back every year. You've got this beautiful white, and then also, if you've got fall chrysanthemums that bloom in your garden, then you've got the white that is working with those too. It's a common thread that comes back every year. You've always got this going on, and I love a good Delft look. May I give a little sneak preview?
Absolutely, we love it.
I just have to give a preview.
Teach us whatever you can.
Because, honey, these are coming up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
This is my favorite ground cover, the ground cover clematis that we've got coming up. And this gives you that Delft look. You know, the blue and white china. How beautiful is that? These are low. This is going on. All of these come back. So there's a preview of that. But you got to have the white flowers.
Yeah,
this is the only white blooming perennial that I have in my garden because it's reliable.
It's our most popular perennial white blooming flower too. And
if you wait to the end of the season, they just won't be here.
Well, that's exactly right. In fact, I can tell you they may not be here in a week or two. Seriously, we don't have that many to go around, and they're already going out by the thousands. This is brand new today. This was not brought out last year or the year before. These are brand new today. The key that makes them so unique and different is that they are perpetual bloomers, non-stop blooming.
And I hate a quitter.
I know.
I don't like a quitter. But this is a gorgeous representation of what you can have all summer long, not just in the spring.
Beautiful.
Into the fall.
Amazing. And you know what else makes these beautiful Shasta daisies so gorgeous? Is that bright yellow center.
Yes.
It's like a sun then that just sprays its rays out. You know what I mean?
And we've got a rose that's coming up with a bright yellow center too. So we'll play with those together too. I want to give you some design ideas. But one of the number one things I say, you've got to have white flowers. There are certain things you check off your list before you start to look for the other things. You've got to have your privacy. You've got to have your white flowers. Certain things you just do.
Yeah,
This is one of them. This is like buying bread.
Gardening 101. Bread and milk. And eggs. Everything's white.
Got to have these things.
Here's the thing I want to remind you, though. This is super important. If you just tuned in, this is 2 full hours of Cottage Farms gardening made easy. We're talking about easy flowers to grow, but also the fact that we are giving you this one low, super low price. In fact, the lowest price you're going to see this at any time this season, and it's $29.98 for 4 big plants. And so if you want 8 or you want 12 or whatever, get them today because your price is going up at the end of the day, and you're not going to see this price again the rest of the season. Not only that, but these are our only quantities of the season. It is February 9th today, my sister Faith's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Faith. But the fact is it's only February 9th, and we've already had things in this show that were new in this show, only quantities of the season that have already sold out.
Right.
So it was kind of like you got a one chance when you watch this show to get those things. And that's why you want to make sure you get them while you can.
And I'd like to clear up a little something too, because I think there's some people I've noticed on my Facebook page, some people are nervous about ordering early because they think they're going to get the plants to them early. Nothing's going to ship to you until it's safe to plant in your area. So don't think by ordering early that they're going to come earlier to you or at an inappropriate time. They arrive when it's safe to plant in your area.
It's like making a reservation at a restaurant.
That's correct.
Okay, you're telling us, you know, we obviously know by your order where you live, and it goes by zip codes. And so basically, they're not going to ship it out until it's ready.
Yes.
And by the way, I want to just show this too, because a lot of people are shopping with us right now. A lot of people are buying more than one set. This is what comes with it. Tell me a little bit about the growing guide.
Well, the growing guides tell you how to plant them, how to cultivate them, how to take care of them, also what you can expect. And also there's a number on the back and a website in case you need any more questions answered.
Yeah.
You can find us on Facebook. I mean, there are a lot of different ways. We are known for our good customer service and also for our guarantees. It sets us apart from all others. Also, if you go to the nurseries, you'll find Shasta daisies.
Yeah.
They bloom the one time.
And then that's it.
And then that's that.
Then you wait another year.
I want them all summer long, particularly if you've got a small garden. The plants have got to perform at a high level for a very long period of time. And these are the best. It's the only white blooming perennial I have in my garden. This is the one for me.
And is this the fertilizer we want? Right here.
Bud flower booster.
The button flower booster. And how often would you fertilize them? Maybe every 2 to 3 weeks? Or
you got it.
Something
Look
like
at
that?
you.
See, I tell you, considering I knew absolutely nothing
But
20
you're
years ago about
enthusiastic,
gardening.
and all you need is enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Because you've got your growing guide, you've also got your guarantees. If you're a first-time gardener, or if you've had bad luck before, this is a good place to either start or reboot.
Yep.
We're going to take care of you.
That's exactly right. Here's the thing, if you just tuned in, I want to let you know because these are very, very, very popular. It's a one-day only price. And that means for just today, February 9th, on this Friday, when today is done, this price goes up. You won't get this price again.
Right.
Anytime this season. So here's the thing, and I don't even know if the quantities will last very long because we have one order and this is it. We've brought everything we can to you in these Shasta daisies. We can't go back to Cottage Farms and say, hey, we need more. This is it. You're getting 4 plants. Go back to just give me the basics about this. We get 4 big plants.
Yes, they get 20 inches tall, 20 inches wide. They're dense. You don't have to stake them or deadhead them. The deer will not eat them at all.
Yes.
They come back every year. They bloom from late spring all the way into the fall. They can grow in containers or in the ground.
What parts of the country?
All parts of the country.
Excellent.
They're great for cut flowers, and I love a source of cut flowers. You've always got something to cut. You don't have to keep buying the flowers at the grocery store. And people come to your luncheon and they see, oh, I see you bought those at the grocery store, because you know they sell 5 things. Have something unusual. Also, it's fresher. It's like growing your own tomatoes.
Exactly.
They're going to be better than the ones from the store.
That's right.
You've grown them yourself over a period of time because these are perennial. You have actually saved money. This is a good investment for your garden. I plant these at the front of my flower border. The white draws my eye down to the darker colors that may not show up.
That's a good idea.
It brightens the garden.
Yeah, it's
and
like
it makes everything seem bigger. My main client's got a big white house, and then the white flowers in the garden, it's like an echo of the house, and then no longer is it a house, it has become an estate.
That's exactly
because of the right plantings.
That's, you know, that is the truth. When you drive by, they don't even have to be big homes, but a home that makes you take a second look. Like you're driving by and you think, oh, that's pretty, wait. You know, that's a house that knows how to, it's like artwork for your yard.
Correct.
It's really what it is.
And by the way, I've got to tell you, I'm talking about a friend of mine named Sue.